I signed the release papers with a hand steadier than I expected. 2 years in a concrete box had carved out every trembling part of me. When the guard pushed open the gate and the cold morning air hit my face, I wasn't thinking about freedom. I was thinking about him, and how this was the exact hour his empire would start collapsing. Strange, isn't it? The day I walked out was the day he finally understood what it meant to lose something you thought was secure. But I should start where the rot truly began. Back then, I thought I married a man incapable of cruelty. I met Daniel in a conference room filled with expensive suits and hollow promises. He looked different, calm, decisive, almost gentle when he smiled. I mistook composure for integrity. I mistook ambition for devotion. He used to tuck a strand of hair behind my ear like it meant something. He used to whisper that we were a team, that no storm could touch us. I believed him. That was my first mistake. The first crack appeared quietly. He started coming home later, then earlier, freshly showered, smelling of someone else's perfume and guilt diluted with mint gum. At first, I played dumb. Not out of denial, but strategy. It's easier to catch a liar when he thinks you're blind. One night, his phone lit up on the counter. A name I didn't recognize. A preview message that made my stomach go cold. I can't lose you too. That was the word that told me everything. I didn't confront him. I simply watched. Patterns reveal themselves when you stop trying to control them. Then came the night everything snapped. The mistress, young, dramatic, easily weaponized, had a miscarriage. And Daniel needed someone to blame. He chose me. The accusations were scripted, rehearsed, convenient. He cried in court. He said I harassed her. He said I threatened her. He said I was unstable. And I sat there, wrists cold from steel cuffs, watching the man I once loved perjure himself without blinking. The sentence, 2 years. He visited every month. I refused every meeting. Because revenge, like grief, needs silence to grow. And I spent those 2 years planning. In prison, you learn who people really are. The ones who write, who don't, the ones who pretend to care, who never did. Daniel didn't want to see me out of guilt. He wanted to measure me, make sure his scapegoat stayed obedient. He underestimated silence. He underestimated me. What he didn't know was that before prison, I'd already copied files from his private drives. Emails, transactions, documents connecting him to tax fraud, offshore laundering, and a few deals so illegal he'd never see daylight again. But information alone isn't power. Timing is. So I waited. I built alliances quietly, writing letters through lawyers he didn't know I had. I filed whistleblower reports anonymously, staggered, drops of poison instead of one fatal dose. I transferred half of our joint assets legally, quietly, using statutes he never bothered to understand. By the time 2 years passed, the match was lit. All I had to do was walk out. And walk out I did, straight into the moment of his downfall. He was waiting outside the gate, still handsome, still confident, still delusional. "Let me take you home," he said. I looked at him like he was a stranger asking for the time. "Home?" I repeated. "You don't have one anymore." Right then his phone began to vibrate, over and over. Calls from his lawyer, his partner, the bank. The first collapse. I watched confusion turn to fear, then fear to realization. What did you do?" he whispered. "I held up a mirror," I said. "You destroyed yourself." His accounts frozen. His company under federal investigation. His board already voting to remove him. His mistress gone the moment the money dried up. Everything he built by burying me was gone before he even finished the sentence of my name. He reached for me, as if I should comfort him. The irony almost made me laugh. "You ruined my life," he breathed. "No," I said softly. "I just stopped protecting you from the consequences." I walked away before he could speak again. Not because I feared him, but because he no longer mattered. 2 years ago, I entered prison as his victim. Today, I left it as his judge, jury, and quiet executioner. Freedom tastes different when you've earned it by fire. And revenge tastes clean.